All right, good afternoon, everybody. Chris Rusty, I'm an emergency medicine physician here at Mayo Clinic. This is a development project. We are born out of DoD funding, and so we're looking for a licensing or potentially becoming a startup. So the patient you see here was involved in a motor vehicle collision at high speeds. They're hemorrhaging, and these patients can die within minutes. What you can appreciate is our transport teams are incredibly busy in a very compact space, and they have to process incredible amounts of information and data. This person ultimately needs emergency resuscitative care and surgery. The problem is the doctors at the hospital have no idea what's happening with this person. So the opportunity that we see is taking the patient's vital signs from the pre-hospital space by Bluetooth through a Mayo Clinic developed physiologic communication kit that transmits those vitals by satellite to telehealth teams and the receiving clinical teams. This is going to open the door for collaborative care before you get to the hospital and better prepare the team for your arrival. Mayo Clinic just spent $33 million on state-of-the-art aircraft that do not transmit vital signs to the hospital. Nationally, 30 million people across the United States call 911 for patient care requests, and I'm sure you're all familiar with the global remote monitoring market anticipated growth. We aim to target the high-level trauma centers across the United States. Our industry competitors have some solutions that are much too costly and do not function in non-cellular environments. And we think our solution alone could save Mayo Clinic Ambulance over $2 million on a purchase in the future. We have an amazing multidisciplinary team. The engineers here have over $25 million in DoD funding, and they have extensive experience in satellite communication and wearable technology. These are our milestones. We do have an active ongoing prospective trial right now. We have the devices in our helicopters and our ambulances, and we're hopeful for a product launch sometime in spring of 2026. We have some needs, including just simple business mentorship and guidance, and especially the regulatory path as well. And with that, I'll thank you for questions. Thank you.
It looks like you're addressing a terrific need. You've got Department of Defense funding. You've got Mayo backing you. Do you have letters of intent that will validate that your product is something that they really would like to see you develop?
Letters of intent, no. Customer discovery, yes. It's been modeled in multiple locations, and like we're using it now actively through a prospective trial. And so from the hospital side down to the paramedic in the field, I think they have great interest in this. And if you layer on, which was difficult to do in a 2-minute pitch, layering on machine learning and AI algorithms that are predictive models of critical illness, that is the next phase of this, absolutely. So yes.
Well, then that segues into what do you need to be successful moving forward? And you list as your first goal development of a spin-off. And then secondly, guidance for Series A funding. I'm curious about already thinking about a spin-off before you have Series A funding.
We're at the inflection point of we're working with Mayo Clinic Ventures. So do we license this potentially? And if that doesn't go well, do we spin off? That's where we need help and guidance through that process.
So it looks like, nice job. It looks like you're one of your critical kind of competitive kind of advantages is the consistency of information, right? The satellite communication piece. So I just wanted to get a sense from you on how sustainable is that from a competitive advantage versus others who could develop something like that?
So I know of some competitors that are working in this space and using SATCOM technology. We just know their solutions are remarkably expensive and actually large. They're large to use. So from an operational or a tactical medicine perspective, having a device, and I brought prototypes I'm happy to show later on if people are interested, that physiologic communication kit you saw is no bigger than your iPhone. And it's a platform of wearables, actually. So there's a wearable that goes on the chest. We've got some for the finger that all go through that data aggregator that will communicate to the satellite. So our differentiator is if it's got a Bluetooth signal, it'll pull it, aggregate it, send it through the SATCOM, and now you can work in rural and austere locations.
I'm curious about your journey outside of Mayo Clinic, because my understanding is that Mayo has their proprietary EMS system. It's not on like an Epic or a more broadly adopted EMS system.
Right.
So part of your getting it outside of Mayo would require that, those relationships with Epic okay. So
If
just
you
tell me a
wanted to
little bit about-
integrate it into the large EMRs, then those relationships will have to develop. And I think we've seen here at Mayo, Epic has been very good about integrating, bringing in data or data sourcing and bringing it in and putting in the medical record, which has been enormously helpful. This is where that would absolutely have to go at some point.
All right, thank you.